Do what the fuck you want to do. People have been led to do what the norm is, to do whatever they've been told to do. Listen, you were placed on this earth so you could experience life. So why would you want to experience life the way somebody else is telling you to live? That really doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. For you to actually live the life that you want to live, you have to do what you want to do. And it might be hard because maybe you want to start a business, but your parents want you to go to school and become a doctor or become a lawyer, but you know that that's not what you want to do. You need to have the ability to say, you know what? No, that's not what I want to do with my life. I know this can be hard, especially if you have maybe some immigrant parents where their way of thinking is very different than our generation. However, you need to realize by saying no, your parents will actually gain respect for you because they will see that you are your own individual. Most parents, they do this thing where they want their kids to go to school and get an education because they do want the best for you. They do. They want you to have a different life, to have more than they did, so you can give even more to your kids. It all comes from a good place, trust me. They don't mean any harm by trying to get you to go to school. But the reality is, to become successful in today's day and age, you don't need to go to school for 8 years. You don't need to work 40 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours a week to make money, to become successful, to be a provider. You don't need to do these things. Their way of thinking is very different than ours because we've seen, and hopefully you know, that the way to make money has changed a lot, especially in the past 15 to 20 years. People are now making money sitting on their phones at home, never leaving to go to a specific place to clock in, and they're making more money in a week than your parents make in a year. Like, you need to realize there is an abundance of money out there to be made. I use that to lead to my next point. If money didn't matter, what would you want to do with your life? Take a moment to meditate and think about that. For me, that was doing this, making YouTube videos. When I was a young kid, I would see these people like Casey Neistat and Roman Atwood and Dude Perfect just making videos on YouTube, just doing their thing. And I was like, that is so cool that these people literally get to live by making videos and other people watching them. These people are entertaining, obviously, because I'm watching them. And it's like, the idea of that is so cool. The idea of setting up a camera and editing a video and getting to spread some type of message, to me, I found that fascinating. Getting to let other people in on your world, in on your life, to me, that was absolutely fascinating. And I used that mindset to say, fuck it, you know what, let me do it for myself. So as a young kid, I would have this little camera and I would sit down and in my bathroom and I would just record, like, here's my hair journey, here's how I get my hair so healthy, here are the number one tips that help me get healthy hair. And the reality was, I wasn't even posting these videos anywhere. I was literally just doing it for myself, and I didn't post those videos anywhere. They just stayed in an SD card in this little camera. But I say that to say, doing this is something that I've always wanted to do since a kid. And for you, it might be different. For you, it might be, you might want to start a clothing brand, or you might want to be the next best painter on earth, or you might want to be the best and upcoming next producer or rapper or singer, or you might want to be the best guitarist, whatever it may be. You know that there's something out there that you want to do, that when you do it, you just get this sense of joy where time stops and nothing else matters. You know what that thing is. Or maybe you don't know what it is, and then you need to think back to when you were a kid. What were the things that caught your attention and you found really, really fascinating? Because the reality is, as a kid, your mind was so simple. You didn't have to worry about these mundane things like rent and bills and, you know, little things like that that just really don't matter, but have been made so that the world revolves entirely around these things, because that's how they keep you where you are. The world doesn't want you, society doesn't want you to be out of the norm. They don't want you to go and say, no, you know what, I'm going to become the best version of, I'm going to become the best fisher out there. Like, you know, they don't want you to do these things. Society and the government wants to just keep you working a job that you don't really like, paying these taxes so they can make money off of you, paying grocery bills that are just insanely taxed. Like, they want you to do these things so they can keep you where you're at, so they can keep all the money, so they can reap all the benefits. You need to flip the narrative and say, fuck that. I want to do what I want to do, and I don't care what price I have to pay. Because the reality is, do you want to live a life where you spent your whole entire life doing what was forced onto you instead of doing what you actually wanted to do? When you die and when you're 80, 90 years old, are you going to look back and say, wow, I lived a really happy, fulfilling life? Or, holy fuck, man, I really wish I would have just done the things I wanted to do, because now I'm 80, I'm 90, and I'm just going to die. And for what? I don't even have any memories to look back at and say, wow, my life was a life well lived. It's true when they say no risk, no story. Do you want to live a boring life where you have kids, you work a 40 to 60 hour job a week, and then your kids are one day like, Dad, what did you do when you were a kid? Or what did you want to do when you were a kid? And you're just like, I don't really know. Or even worse, do you want to say, oh, well, I wanted to be an astronaut? And then they're like, oh, why didn't you become an astronaut? And then you have to say, because I was too scared to follow my dreams. Like, think about how devastating that is. You need to live a life for you, because this is your life, bruh. It's your life. Nobody is going to take you by the hand and say, here you go, here's $1 million, go do whatever you want. But would you rather have an easy life, a comfortable life, where you're working a job you don't like, having a wife you don't like, with some snobby ass kids you don't even like, with some neighbors you don't like, driving a car you don't like? Or would you rather be able to say, you know what, maybe I'm struggling, maybe I don't have the best car, but at least I get to wake up and I get to go snowboarding every day, or I get to go surfing every day. Maybe I only get to eat 2 fishes and crabs every day, but at least I get to wake up, go surfing, and do what I love. You need to find out what it is for you that you really love doing, and you need to decide for yourself. Do I want to spend a life where I'm following the norm? Or do I want to live my life the way it was intended to be experienced, by doing the things that I want and really getting to make the most out of this life? Yo, my name is Eurovez. My goal with this channel is to help people embody that higher self, the higher level version of themselves that does exist out there. I'm here in this beautiful ass lake, and I hope y'all enjoyed what I was talking about in this video, and I'll see y'all next time. And remember to like and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. We are halfway there. I know it might seem insignificant to some of y'all, but to me, that means the absolute world. So make sure to go like, comment, sub, so you can say that you were part of the gang while we were here very early. Go claim your OG spot. Go comment something in the video down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.